From potentially throwing hands to Twitter fingers versus Thread fingers, the quickly ended fight between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg gaining steam again online. The two CEOs now locked head-to-head in a battle for consumers' attention after Meta launched its Twitter killer app, Threads, on Wednesday evening. The latest Meta family member already boasts over 10 million users and more set to join.
Twitter has some new competition headed to the App Store today. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, is launching its direct Twitter competitor. It's called Threads. NBC News correspondent Erin McLaughlin has details. Erin?
Hey there, Willie. That's right. The app will be available tomorrow, and it looks like users can link it directly to their Instagram account. It's the latest salvo in the battle between billionaires Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. And get this, they may actually physically fight each other.
It's the battle of the billionaires after Elon Musk recently challenged Mark Zuckerberg to a potential cage match, and Zuckerberg agreed. The two have yet to physically face off, but the source of their dispute, Zuckerberg's company Meta, is now entering the ring to take on Twitter.
I enjoy being doubted.
Announcing the launch of a direct competitor, Threads. The app, which appears to emphasize public conversations, much like Twitter, already showing up in Apple's App Store for users to download on Thursday. Photo previews suggest users will be able to log in using their Instagram account.
Elon Musk landed the first jab in his fight with Meta Platform's new app, Threads, saying that cheating was not okay. Musk's lawyer, Alex Spiro, sent a letter to Meta's chief executive Mark Zuckerberg to say that Twitter had serious concerns that Meta has engaged in systematic, willful, and unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property. The Facebook parent launched Threads late Wednesday, a day earlier than planned, and Zuckerberg said in a post on Thursday that the platform already had 30 million users. Twitter CEO Linda Yaccarino responded on Thursday morning in response to rival Meta launching its Twitter copycat, Threads, the night before. She tweeted, "You built the Twitter community, and that's irreplaceable. This is your public square. We're often imitated, but the Twitter community can never be duplicated." She also emphasized that Twitter is a place where users can be real.
Morning to you both, guys. Andrew, let me start with you and Threads. What do we think this is going to look like? How popular might it be? And how much is this about Zuckerberg versus Musk, their little planned slap fight aside?
Look, I just think I think that Zuckerberg sees this as an opportunity and an opening. Whether it's going to work or not, unclear. Probably will do well with advertisers, at least initially, insofar as people like to be around things that are brand safe, and they consider Meta and Facebook and the like safer, if you will, than where Twitter is right now. But it's still an open field, and it's unclear. I don't think anybody really knows whether people will really go. For any of these things to work, they need scale. There is a network effect. Walter Isaacson and I have talked about this at great length before. You need to have that network effect. You need everybody going on there. And right now, one of the reasons why Blue Sky and Mastodon and the other apps that you talked about haven't really gained traction is because there's not enough people on them to create that network effect scale.
Walter, I think a lot of people who think Twitter is an absolute mess right now as a user experience, forget the business side of it, would be happy to see some kind of a viable alternative to it. But you are so plugged into the world of Elon Musk, you're working on a biography of him. Does he view Twitter as a mess, or does he think this is going well?
I think he thinks it's going well in terms of bringing new users in, and clearly he's been bold in doing things like putting up video and new tweet decks and things. But his great fear has been that Twitter would be he wants Twitter to be a place where left and right and all sorts of people join together. He wants it to be a town square, a civic site. And his great fear is that social media balkanizes, and that's what you may see happening here when Meta comes into the game, because, you know, different people with different political viewpoints can do what they do on cable TV, on talk radio dial, and in the blogosphere, is just go to their own corners. And as Andrew said, what you really want is a place where everybody goes so you can have contention. It's probably not much fun, whether you're left or right, to only be talking to your choir.
Although, actually, I don't know, some people seem to be just doing that these days, Walter. Andrew, talk about the other changes that Elon Musk has been trying to make to Twitter recently. I mean, obviously, we had the blue tick, the whole tick verification system earlier, but then this limit on the number of tweets you can use,
Right.
kind of 800 if you aren't. Although why you'd want to do more than 800 tweets, I don't know, during the course of a day.
He's been after the bots since the very beginning. In fact, one of his rationales for buying this company was he wanted to rid the service of bots and rid the service of folks also now increasingly scraping data that they can then use to do generative AI, meaning they're looking at all this data that all of us are writing on Twitter and then using that data and those sentences and that word structure and that information to effectively propel generative AI tools like ChatGPT and the like. And he's trying to end that. And what he did over the weekend was say, look, we're going to try to stop that. One of the ways we're going to do that is we're going to limit how much anybody can see this stuff, because he's not just trying to do to check this for humans. He's trying to really check the bots and all of these AI programs that are trying to scrape the data. He said he needed to do that almost out of nowhere to surprise people, because if he had done it and told people this is coming next week, that actually those bots and everybody else would have gotten prepared and figured out ways around it.
I think this is an important.
Go ahead, Walter.
Yeah, I think this is a really important point in the that Andrew just made. In the era of generative AI, the big fuel is data. Now, things like ChatGPT, GPT-4 or Bard from Google, they've trained on data from billions of documents on the internet, but it's not timely. What is the most timely data stream we have of the hive mind of humanity? That's the Twitter, billion tweets per day. And what Musk was trying to do is said, you're not allowed to scrape that data to train your AI systems. And I think that was the main reason he clamped down on the number of tweets that could be scraped or read in any given day.
Meta has hired dozens of former Twitter employees who may have access to confidential information. Facebook's parent company Meta has a history of creating copycat products in the past. Examples are Reels mimicking TikTok or Instagram stories rivaling Snapchat. It remains to be seen whether Threads will actually be a Twitter killer or not. Twitter intends to strictly enforce its intellectual property rights and demanded that Meta take immediate steps to stop using Twitter's trade secrets or other highly confidential information. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.